Hello, and welcome to some Factorio. My name is Trismegistus, and this series is my aesthetic Factorio series, where I'm trying to build some aesthetic bases, some bases that I think look quite good. As much as you can in Factorio. Anyway, there's a whole load of mods on the series, the save. Looks like everything's okay. And I reworked the numbers. So basically, the last few streams, I've been sort of on this series. I've been saying that I never thought I'd get it finished because the numbers were all insane, like the amount of copper and stuff I was having to produce. And I completely messed up the numbers. I don't know what I did wrong, but basically, the upshot is that essentially, this is completely irrelevant. I don't actually need this entire facility. This single smelter here for copper. This is all copper smelting, and this is what I mean by aesthetic as well. It hopefully looks quite good on both on the map screen and actually when you're viewing it, sort of in the real game. But effectively, this is all I need. This will produce all of the copper I need and more than. Actually, it's over. It's like double actually what I need, because the aim is to do eventually have this be Science Island, where I'm going to have all of the sciences being made on this island. And what I've been doing is I've been reworking the numbers, as I say, because at one point I was going to have three of these. I was going to have one of these which was just trains, this one up here which was boats, and then there was going to be one, I think it was over here maybe or somewhere, I can't remember, which was combined trains and boats, and it was just getting nuts. It was just sort of, how is this even this scale? I mean, to be fair, these are only 3 beacon designs because I think it looks better. So it's not the most efficient of designs, but say it was getting the drop numbers were clearly silly. So I basically reworked the numbers, and because what I'm trying to go for is about 1,000 a minute. It's not a goal to actually hit the science, but about 1,000 a minute. And I've recalculated the numbers, and basically, as I say, that on its own is enough. So I've just left that one there. And what I'm actually going to do with this is repurpose it so that it's half iron and half copper. So at the moment, it's got all copper. So we'll effectively switch half of these over to copper. I'll need to rework this. This is the balancer side, because basically it is effectively half and half. It's like four bits in one sort of thing, but it's a relatively easy split to split it in half. These two don't mix once they're done, so we can basically make these two copper, or other way around, these two copper, these two iron, whichever way around, and just do it that way. So we'll put in what I'm going to do here. I'm going to put an iron mine here that is the boats, using these iron patches, and we'll use canals basically. So I'm going to punch a canal through and have the boats going through there probably, and arriving here. And then we need to do, I'm not going to do them because they're just going to be exactly the same size. It's literally copied over. I need to do it, I need to change the colour of the concrete and blah, 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 blah. But it's going to be just the same design because that'll suit us. And again, it's just one of those. I'm probably going to put it next to each other. So I'll probably have those two together. And then mine for the iron will be there. So that's all fine. Oil-wise, my intention is to have a single oil sort of setup, single oil refinery. And I think this is the best place for it because we've got some nice patches, nice big patches all close together. And we've also got I've got boat mode on, to say, and it gives you access to like refining at sea basically. So, or rather oil things at sea. So we can use this area as oil and make all the oil, and that's going to be like plastics, sulfuric acid, blah 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 type build, and it'll be a combined. That's why it's on the coast. Combined trains and boats. Up here, I'm thinking of putting in the circuit factories. I don't know how. I'm intending again that it will be both sort of trains and boats maybe, but we could, we can use these harbour spaces probably for these. We need a stone brick. Is it up here? Where is it gone? Here we go. We need a stone brick factory. What I've actually done, I've used the to-do list to add everything on. And what we're going to do today is the steel. But this is going to be a stone brick one, so obviously that's going to have to deliver to the thing. What I might do, I say, is a bit of a canal, a bit like old Suez Canal or something, where it's going through there, and effectively the stone will be loaded onto ships here, and they'll go out through there. That could be quite cool. This is going to eventually become the military factory. It'll also do the fuel. Quite how I'm going to do that, I don't know, because I did test this. And a boat going back and forth on this basically uses an entire load of fuel, nuclear fuel. It's actually too far for any other sort of fuel. What else? There's a normal stone factory somewhere, normal stone quarry. If I zoom in properly, it will hopefully appear. I thought it was over here. Obviously, we need coal mines as well. But there's also going to be an I've decided on which factories I'm going to make. So there's going to be an engines factory. Where's the stone? Coal mine. Can't see the stone one. There is one. I'm pretty sure. I thought it was over here. Oh, there we go. All the way down there. So that'll be regular stone. So that's then a really long journey, you see. And that's kind of what I'm hoping to go for. Where I'm going to put the engines factory and stuff, I don't know. Oh, I guess I'm going to put it there. And there's going to be a couple of others I don't think I've matched. So I guess the other thing to note is what I'm going to do. I'm going to have a factory making level 1 modules for both those, because you need those for sciences and RCUs. Music sounds really loud to me, but it didn't look loud on the audio, so I'll just turn it down here. And here I'm basically going to have a whole factory making the rocket parts, so the rocket parts will be shipped over basically. That could be quite cool, and that's also why the steel is going to be here, because obviously steel is quite heavily used in the production of rocket parts, so that's there. But then I can also boat it over, so it'll become single combined steel. It's going to be roughly the same size as one of these. I might actually just repurpose the design. It isn't. I mean, it is and it isn't. It's sort of the tricky bit to it is going to be the iron side of it. So 1,780. I've got the wrong thing listed there. Why is that on? Oh, I know what it is. There we go. So yeah, the steel does need to be a bit bigger. 1,860. So I don't think we can use the same design, but say that's probably not even going to be done this stream. What we're really going to work on is the iron side of it, because that will be a bit smaller. And my theory, my intention at this point, I don't know how many of these iron patches I need to tap. I'm hoping probably those 4, and we'll put essentially an iron foundry in here. It'll load stuff onto trains, and then we'll have trains going all the way across the water on bridges and unloading here. So they're just going to be back and forth trains. And then the steel foundry will be, here somewhere. And it'll have to load onto both the boats and send trains over to here, probably. I'm not going to need steel for that, so that's just going to be back and forth as well. And part of the idea, as I say, with it being aesthetic, is to make it look good. But I'm also trying to do lots of different things as well, so it's not just repetition. So I say the slight difficulty is I'm not sure how I'm going to, in a sense, balance it up. Excuse me. So what we could do is see what the numbers are like, because it's the sort of the train transporting side of it that I'm not 100% sure of. Maybe we should start with the steel furnaces. And sort of work backwards. That might be an idea. Because if the trains are going across it, because I got bridges basically. I don't think I've got any made. No, so we need to clear some of that off. I haven't figured out how I'm going to use the train bridges yet. I do want to use probably the canal. Say for that iron mine, I can then do something, but it's out the way, so I don't know. I don't think it's quite going to work. Let's see. What can we get rid of? We don't need any of this rubbish. I didn't manage to sort of sort out this inventory. As you can tell, we could get rid of that. Don't need that. I don't really need a lot of this stuff. It's all just legacy from when it was a proper save. Again, what do I need repair packs for? I'm just trying to make room because obviously I want to get some of these. So I can put some of these on here. And sort of make some bridges. It's obviously in creative mode mod. Because I'm not sure which one I want to use even. I might use several, I don't know. Yeah, let's have a look. So, if this was... Let's go down here. So if it's coming out here... So which one's this? This is the stone... Straight brick bridge. That doesn't look very good on that angle, does it? They tend to look a lot better when you do them like that. Yeah, that's not very attractive at all. What do the diagonals look like on the stone bridge? Oh, that's quite good as well. Could I incorporate that in some way? Maybe we actually build the smelting side of it there. So if we were to build it... Well, actually, let's have a look at the others. So maybe they look a little bit better. So that was the stone. That's the iron one. See how they look a lot better. Oops. Going horizontal. And then this is the wood one. Can I fit that in there? These are purely, it's purely cosmetic. It doesn't have any influence on anything, what material it's made of. I think the stone one looks the best. But say, none of them look that good in the vertical. Okay. So if we go over sort of here, here's what I'm currently thinking. Hopefully that isn't too loud. It looks really quiet on the stream. So for me it seems suddenly quite loud. I don't know if it's just because that's the only... Unless I've been fiddling about the settings. Let me have that on 5. And this I always have to turn down for Factorio too. Because some of its machines are bonkers loud. So where am I going? If I go, say, over to this knobbly bit. Let's have a think. This bit here, maybe? Because what I'm suddenly sort of thinking is that maybe we could have the trains... which one? If it's the stone one I like, or brick one I like the best. So the trains could come this way, you see. Like this. And then sort of go... essentially across this island. It's not very good match location-wise, that one, is it? But if we go across there, say... So maybe there? I'm imagining a couple of trains in parallel, essentially. Come on. Don't do this to me. Ghost, train, track. There we go. So it goes across diagonally. And then perhaps goes like down here, maybe. And sort of across. Straight out here. And then down across there, maybe? Maybe this is a bit closer here, maybe? No, because that way I get all of the different types. I mean, that could move up a bit further up, couldn't it? I could also maybe change the type of bridge there. Looks a little strange, doesn't it? Maybe if instead of doing it there... I mean the kink, basically. The kink looks a little odd. We go across this bit, maybe? I suppose we could have all of them. Oh, come on. There. Gotcha. So we could have multiple sort of train tracks across. Different places. Do I want it higgledy-piggledy? Maybe that one like that. Maybe. And these are going to influence by, you know, how close they are, you know, when I'm smelting them, sort of thing. You know, that could be another line across there, maybe. So I don't really know sort of how many I'm going to do and how wide they need to be. Maybe they'll actually all drop off at the same point, maybe. Oops. I think I like this. Conceptually, a bit better than just going straight down. You know, maybe could even them up a bit, but so what would that be? I guess that would be how many? So 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 10, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 20, 21. Okay, an uneven number. Fortunate. So it's 2, 4, 6, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and then is that the middle one? No, but it's nearest, down it? Because that would be that one there. Would that be better / worse? Maybe that's there. So basically, I think I've kind of decided that we're just going to do this in creative. I'm not sure I could face however many sort of 100 hours it's going to take, and then having to do it again. I mean, maybe what I could do is essentially start a new map and use the designs again. That might be one way of addressing that, but even so, I mean, it took me so long to clear out all the biters. So those aren't even. No, they're about the same distance. About the same. They're exactly the same distance. But this is not the same, is it? So the corner's there. Corner's there. Corner's wrong on that one. That's because that distance is wrong. Okay. So we need that to be there. And that to be there. Oops. That's a bit better. Because then we get the diagonal, the straight bit, only a small bit of the straight bit. Then I could move these up or down, couldn't I? You know, they could, could be here somewhere. More diagonal, and then the vertical version. Cool. Okay. Oops. So yeah, I think I prefer that. Oh no. Neighbours are burning stuff again. Oh, it's just insane. It's not even a nice day. Right, I'll be back in a second. I've got to close my windows because, of course, I do. 1 second. Right, so if we were trying to base it around 3 sets of smelters and load those onto trains, and to say I'm going to try and use different designs for some of them. So I don't want to just copy and paste the other one, but if I can't do it, I will just copy and paste. So, because if it was 3 designs, you see, each could have 500 furnaces in. It's not quite the numbers that I need, but I say there's a lot of wiggle room in the numbers I've done. So if it was to be 500 furnaces, what would that look like? With 3 beacons. So if we were to go up here, this is the iron, sorry. So we're doing 1550 is the sort of theoretical number of furnaces. Did I put them? There are some bits I do want to keep the same. You know, if I put, yeah, furnaces right next to each other, perfect. And then, have I got any bacons? No, I've not got any bacons. Okay. And then these here. I'm going to say, trying to do them so they look good rather than necessarily maximising efficiency. Just call me the anti-Nilaus. It's rubbish. Right. So how many... Oh, I need to put the recipe on, don't I? So we don't need copper. We need... They're not on intermediates? No. Where's iron? I don't matter, it's on here. No, it needs to be 100. Oh, that's a bit weird. Turn that off. Cool. So if they are all working, is that like, what's that in terms of, you know, express belts, basically? So it's not even half a belt. So I guess I could just copy that design because there's no difference between iron and copper. From that point of view, I was wondering about maybe doubling them up, so it's just like a gigantic slab of furnaces together. So if this was, so this would be the sort of single furnace. Oh, I didn't put the prods in. Sorry, that's one of the reasons. Oh, didn't put any of the beacons in. It's done or not? So this, I know, does basically a belt's worth of iron for approximately a belt's worth of iron in. But if we were to do this more like a half and half, what would that look? So if, in other words, if I, because how many have I got? There's 28, so 14. So if I cut that in half, I didn't cut that in half, I copied that in half. So do it to 28, 8 stutter. Like that, say. Oh! I didn't know it. Oh, what have I done there? Done that wrong, haven't I? Oh no, that's fine. So, in other words, if we add that many, how many would that do? So it's 0.8, so it's not quite half the size. So maybe another couple of these boys. Let's just make sure we've got stuff in. The flashing is driving me insane. So let's get all of these on. Oh, I haven't got any things, have I? So if this was, you know, something here, that's horrible, but whoops. So yeah, so is this a lane? Not quite. So another couple. Or another one. With iron in. Have they all got iron in? They've all got iron in. So that's a lane, basically. Okay. Yeah, so I was saying I need to rethink that, but power-wise. Because what I could do, because that's 6, I mean that's not 6 beacon, but it's 6 beacon. So it would be half then, wouldn't it? Is that what I want to do? Because that would then be 250 furnaces per train, basically. And this is 17. It's an unfortunate number. So if we copy this up a bunch, so let's see what it looks like. So how many is that? That's 204. So, well, let's put 2 on. I think that's too many. But oops. Yeah, it's way too many, isn't it? If I just undo 270 with 17 in a row. So if I get rid of one row, $255. Okay, let's put iron in. Let's see if I can't just check. How many belts worth of material this will produce? Because it won't give you the numbers on this calculator unless with furnaces, unless they've actually got a recipe on. Because obviously it doesn't know what you're trying to do. So very nearly 15 belts out. Okay. Very nearly 15. Okay. So if these were smelting almost directly into a train, what would that look like? So, I mean, first I'd need to decide which is the train and which is the which is the processed and which is the raw. You're in the way. But what would it look like? So if this was, you know, I mean, obviously it'd be a bit further up because we'd need a couple of traction engines on it. I don't think I've even got any thingamies. So if this was there, you see, it's several, you know, traction engines, and then we were loading into trains. How aligned are they? So I think the answer is going to be not very. So that's going up there. Yeah, doesn't align at all, does it? No, it's way off. Because that one's sort of aligned, and then no, this one's not got anything. That's the alignment. No, aligned. So it's all over the place, basically. I mean, I'm not actually just running through ideas, basically. At 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. Let's just do it this way. Yes, there's 22 carriages there, and only. So that says 30, 15. Yeah, so no wonder it's not aligned properly. That's fine. I mean, belts look cool on the map and stuff anyway, so not fussed about that. Okay. Okay. Because 15 is slightly unfortunate, isn't it? In that 16 would be a rounder number. I could even do 8 then. Because at the moment I'm going to have 15 belts going down. So 16 would be a better number, I think. So if I was to... Maybe I... if I was to take one of these off, then how do I balance it? So I'm not even sure I want to do this. We could just go... So I do want them to be different. I mean, iron's going to be identical, basically, so it's not, you know, to copper. So there's no variety there. And apart from brick, which is a different ratio, so we need a different build anyway. This is the only other one I'm going to smelt. You know, we need to smelt. That ain't sure. So what I was thinking is that if we have one that's half, that gets us 16 lanes, but they're not going to be full. I'm going to have to do fiddling about with. Well, some of them aren't going to be full. It's going to be a bit weird, isn't it? They're not going to look nice, like nice full belts then, is the problem. Because that then still produces 50. In fact, that's even closer to 15. It's just not going to look as nice either, is it? I mean, I could just put 16 on. Don't have to stick to my numbers. In fact, with the lag and stuff, 16 might be better anyway. Okay, let's do 16. Oh, it's not quite 16. Why not? Did I mess that up somehow? Because each one of these produces over a belt. So have I accidentally not got the same number? How can I? No, that's 16. So why are you short? What? Because that's... Oh, that's... Why is that less? Oh, one's not got a... Ah, there we go. Missed. So it should be... oh, 6 have no risk. I've missed 6 again. Oh, there's one missed there. No, I've lost it. Anyway, I know it's roughly right, so that's fine. I know it's 16 lanes. Because then I can come out and I can use 2 8 balancers. I've not really balanced the other ones, I've just assumed balancing. You know, automatic balancing. But we could also then, rather than have it be 16 in a row, we could... I don't know what half and half. Half of 16 is, so... I guess it's there. Did I not? Oh, I didn't cut, but it doesn't matter. I got that wrong. So if I flip that. Oops. And then I need to copy this bit. And then cut that off. And then, because we could have then 3 lots. 816. Wait. So that's 8. $816. I suppose that's okay. I can also just check. Does this produce 8 belts? 6? No. But that's because I've missed 6 smelters. Okay. So if these were then... Am I going to have loading issues if I do this? I mean, we could do this as a multi-lane system. So it could be a... They all fit onto the same track here. You know. So these are just options of ways to go, essentially. Because you can put signal, I think. You can put signals on these. Signal. Yeah, you see they just go in the water, basically. There is actually like a water power pole, I think, somewhere. That one, floating electric pole. I've not really used it. It's intended more for the boats one. It looks quite cool, actually, because it's got like little pontoons on the bottom. And then what we could have then is just 8 trains. You know, 8. These. So there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 train stations here. They could still be facing each other. And then all the belts come down here. So we would end up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. And then got my balancers somewhere. There we go. Because the 8x8 is quite compact. And then maybe I could just flip it over. You can probably look better the other way around, wouldn't it? If the pokey out bit was on the outside, that'd probably look a little more attractive. 1, 2, 3. So then I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 belts there. So probably I need sort of 4 belts there, don't I? That. So that needs to go 2 over. So this whole thing needs to be 1, 2, 3, 4. Oops. Yeah. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Which one's which? I don't know. Because at the moment I've got them inserting in both directions, just because of how I've been copying and pasting. I guess it's probably going to look better if they're inserting at the bottom, maybe? Exerting, outputting at the bottom, maybe? So the inputs are coming there, outputs are happening there. These on 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, yeah. Yeah. So if we have 1, 2, 4. So that would be the 6, 7, 8. Hang on, 2, 4, 6, 8. So this is the top one. And that's the bottom one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Like that. Okay, so power pole wise, we're probably going to have them like that. But then I can probably put these. No, I can't. Can't put it there, can I? Or there even. So it's going to have to be quite overlapped, I think. Wait, where did I copy that? So it's that one. And that one. Oops. What have I done there? Oh, that's annoying. That is annoying. Let's get one of these on so I can see that it is properly... No, not one of them. One of those on. See that it's properly working. Oh, of course they got stuff in them. Oh, and I could, you know, we could fiddle about with... We don't have to have them there, as it were. We just need to be hitting the bacons as well. Because that then would be those two. How do I get that third? Could do that, maybe? Something a bit different, as I say. And then I can put that on. Oops. Sort of furthest extent. Where did that one go? So I'm sort of anticipating I will copy this. The steel will basically be the same arrangement. The same. It's annoying that that's not. Didn't work, does it? Not that it didn't work, but it's not the same. I guess that's because how many have we got? 17, which isn't divisible by 3. How far off? How far over? So it's ever so slightly over. Could I just add one? So in other words, if it was 18, I think that would look better, but obviously effectively that's completely redundant. I guess it could possibly fill in if we get a sort of a gap effect, which you often do. It's basically because the arms swing, have a swing time, so you can't, you have to sort of work around that effectively. It's a bit sort of difficult to explain. But you get these tiny little gaps in the output from the belts. And it's just a coincidence of everything swinging at the same time. Okay, so has everyone got them in? Yep. Has everyone got them in? Yep. Okay. Okay. So we've now got 18. Which does divide nicely by 2, doesn't it? So could also do that there. So that then puts everything on the other side of the belt for those. We could make sure, or help with the, say, the pausing effect with a stack inserter. Okay, so if this was all ironed up, oh, are they all running and working? Looks like it. Cool. Okay, so if that's our unit, so we need to make it look pretty as well at some point. So if we copy this up. Oops. Like that. And so we need to copy. So I guess that bit there, 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 there. Okay. Cool. Oops. Awesome. Okay. And then add one of those on each of these. Like that. Cool, so that's our sort of smelt unit, Ryan, and also therefore for copper, for steel. Although the numbers are different, aren't they? But I can probably make them longer and account for that. Yeah, so we want... so if I make sure... 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so if I get rid of that... And copy this. And as I say, we clip it. Oh, I didn't... What? Oh, it's not clip, is it? It's a flip. Like that. And then we copy this up. Oh, I shouldn't have. Shouldn't have got rid of that because I can't remember how many I needed. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that right? I did 1, 2, 4. 2, 3, 4. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Was it that many? Feels like that's as many as I had. Let's maths it. 1.1? Oh. That's wrong. So did I... Maybe I did one too many. $864, that seems right. Okay. So question is whether I'm putting both of these onto a single train, in which case probably I could load it, you know, we can move these a bit further apart actually and have the train be in the middle. Or am I loading each one onto a separate train? Obviously if I put, I guess one thing we could test with that, or one way of testing whether which is better, is essentially seeing, because if I can put in cheaty stuff here, matter sources and matter horns. Oh, I can't do it. Need to be up there. So essentially have it running, filling the belts for us. I could obviously put iron ones on, but let's just do it this way. Also help make sure I've not done any copy and paste errors. So we can put one, oops, put one of these on here as well. Right. So help test copy and paste errors. There you go. See that tiny, tiny little gap? Should work itself out because this will be basically full all the time. Because I've got too many to fill a belt. So it should sort of self-counter. But if this was... well, let's put them on sort of properly as it were. So if we get a station... Missed. Will you go fast? No, you won't. Okay, you won't. So station, so it's a train of some indeterminate number of things. 6, 7, 8. So if it was 8 train long, 8 carriage long train. What I'm slightly curious about, because I've never really tested this properly, is essentially then will how many stack inserters does it take to sort of fill a train in a sense? In fact, might be better off making this a void carriage while I'm working on it, but we'll see. Oops. So basically if I have 8 stack inserters, does it fully eat the belt? You know, so if this is the belt of steel, belt of iron, and I put, did I say 8? 6 stack inserters. Let's hook this up to over here. So actually, 4, 5 would probably do it. Would 4 do it? Not, not quite. It is stuttery, isn't it? Yeah. That could be one of those things where you can put, if you override this and rather counterintuitively, if you make it sort of 10, actually it like flows better. No, that's even more stuttery. You do get a thing because the swings end up like synchronizing. So if we did have 6, and if we made them all 10. It does fully eat the belt, doesn't it? It's not stuttering at all. We could probably make it more even if it was like 8 or something. That was 6 bucks. Yeah, you see, it's. I really feel the carriage already. Because if one of these, because it's the swing speed, you see, 864 times degrees a second, and it's doing a 360-degree arc, so 360, 720. So in theory, it's only half a second to swing, or less than half a second. You know, do a full swing. So if this is delivering 45 per second, effectively it's 22, yeah, mental maths. So actually it could go lower, I think. Something like 5 would probably be. Looks like it's flowing constantly, but they're all pretty swinging pretty consistently. But it is, it's taking everything with the belt eventually. Okay. Oops. Where's this got? Did it keep it? Yeah. Oh, and that's full. That looks like it works quite well, actually. Because I'm thinking about not having boxes on this one, is what I'm thinking. Because the thing with this, if I do it like this, what I was originally thinking was just trains going back and forth. But if I put them all on the same track, then I'm going to have to like effectively have a return line as well as a 2 line. But then I could just keep them set if there's 3 lots. Because the whole point of boxes, basically, it's like a buffering system. So you fill up the box, the train arrives, effectively you empty the box. I mean, you don't because you never match it up, but you empty the box, the train goes, and while it's away, the box fills up and it comes back in the full box. So they can load as quickly as they can possibly load, sort of thing. That's sort of how you would do it. Another way of doing it, though, you see, is we just have enough trains that there's always a train waiting. You know, so this one goes and another one pulls in. But then I'm going to have a more complicated train system. If we box it, then the trains could go back and forth. Single line, single train. If we don't box it, we probably need a 2-way system of some description. So a separate line for coming back, essentially. But we could have all the ones coming back coming along one line, and all the ones coming along a separate line. That'd be something a bit different, a bit more interesting. Because what I'm thinking, you see, is effectively, you know, we do this. on every single one. And I kind of connect them like that. Oops. Looks like I've miscounted somewhere. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7. It's because I've got 7 carriages. And it's just a, bit different sort of thing. Because of these now all flowing. Oh, there is a tiny little pausiness, isn't there? Oh, well, there would be, because this isn't. This is full. That's nearly full. So there is a void carriage you can use just to test this sort of thing, but I'm being a Dumbo. It is a tiny bit stuttery. Yeah, you can see tiny little pauses in the thing. So maybe if this was slightly higher, the middle two, something. Oops. That seems better. Cool, okay. How many trains, how many carriages? That's the next question, really. In fact, let's leave that bit in. So, I'll move all of this over. In fact, no, let's leave it so I remember this time. So if I just sort of cut this over, and then I'll just leave it over here somewhere. Big pause while it has a nice think. So we could make 282s maybe. Max speed 259. It's just the acceleration that changes with more things. But is this just like this? Just straight in? It's sort of brutal, isn't it? I think I want it, below the insert balancer anyway. So if this was the station, then I'd need to just sort of move all of that down, wouldn't I? So it needs to be aligned with there. So this becomes, oops, traction unit. And that's there. You're there. So at the very least we need, I'll just put some regular signals on there. That's how long we would be looking. Okay. But I can't really do that because I would have to have a single underground because this is too wide. So, I cut this here. What the heck is that? Oh, random carriage. So if that was there, I need to move it sort of there. And that's then 1, 2, 3. And that gives a space there. So that is the line coming down. Oops. I was actually sort of thinking about like reversing it. So doing something like that. I don't know why I was thinking that. I mean, could I do it there actually? Oh no, it connects up then, doesn't it? If I do it like that. I could do that. No, just a sort of funky little weirdness, basically. I'll say that's sort of what this series is about. I'm trying to think. So one of the hearts of the series is just that whole thing of having played vanilla in particular over and over again. It's like almost trying to think of new ways of playing that aren't hidebound by efficiency or things like that. Or just reusing the same... That looks quite funky, doesn't it? You know, reusing the same blueprints over and again and those sorts of things. Just to play the game the same but different. So if that's that, we get some lights on. I guess we should be using... What colour am I going to use for steel? What have I... Because I think I've done inlaid. Yeah, I just put oranges on here, didn't I? Okay. But then that's that one. It's not this one. What did I do here? So that was orange there. Yeah, it's all orange, isn't it? I've not been using the inlays. I've used the inlays on the boats, basically. Oh, I've got that wrong. Oh, it should be the blue light, shouldn't it? Not. Oh, well, no. This isn't iron, is it? This is steel. So what light am I going to use for steel then? Because I want to use blue for iron. Although this isn't technically steel, is it? Maybe we could do something like purple. I'm going to run out of lights. You can program them, obviously, but I wanted to just use, you know, some of these default lights. I've installed the mod packs, so I'll just use them. Okay, and then it needs actual trains. Traction units again. So how I'm going to fuel a lot of this, I haven't really decided. So another question for another time. I haven't really been bothering with radars and stuff either, have I? Yeah, I don't think there's any radars on any of this. Something I've sort of forgotten. But I've got a higher level radar, so I could probably just plot one in the middle. You know, on this middle thing, and it covers everything anyway. So it's not a massive concern. Okay, so what? So if we connect, I wonder if I could run a power line kind of up the middle somehow. Maybe align it with the top power, top thing each time, or every other one maybe. I don't know how. So if that's bottom, this one, bottom, copy and paste that. But then they're kind of far away, aren't they? That doesn't work distance-wise there either. Could we go... Oh, 3 would work. In fact, 3 is perfect, isn't it? Okay. So, if it was top... And then 1, 2. Do. So it needs to be there. Wait, I've just recreated exactly the same thing, haven't I? So it's there. That one there. And that one there. That's perfect. No, it's not perfect. It's 1 off. Okay. That's them there. We could move this into the centre, so I know where it is. Some purple lights on. Put your purple light. Have I lit up the furnaces here? I've lit up the power, but I'm not using those, am I? So we could maybe put lights in them. I'll leave the floors for another time, I think, because that... Better probably do it off stream, but that's quite a task, that, doing the flooring, making it look good. So if I sort of copy and paste sort of that, flip it there. So that's our two-sided train loading. So we want 3 of these, basically. Or should I do some of the pathing now? Because what I would imagine I'm probably going to end up doing is maybe say I'm trying to do each one a bit different. So maybe these have... Don't I have another type of... Isn't there a stone one? I haven't used warehouses at all, storehouses. Should maybe think about using them somewhere. Steel might be a good one to use them on as well. Feels appropriate somehow. What am I looking for? I'm looking to see if I have got a stone wall. So that's that one there. What does this look like? Is it particularly visually different? It is, isn't it? Because there's also a wooden wall. That looks a bit rubbish, if I'm totally honest. And then there's the gate. The chain link. I think that looks pretty good. And it sort of thematically looks quite good, I think. It's like a protective barrier. Okay. So I'm sort of thinking is effectively I have some kind of path. This is all contained with a stone wall. We could possibly do this chain link fencing around each of these, maybe. Oops. So maybe that needs to be there. I use undergrounds to, you know, so it'd be continuous fence, basically. Oh! Just like that. So protect, you know, the idea is it's sort of pseudo protecting the engineer. Okay, and then this is the, maybe there's enough room for a walkway on the inside, but a thinner one maybe? We can break out the blue concrete and stuff. Maybe there's a, say, a sort of pathway on the inside. Maybe the proper entranceway is at the bottom, with gates on it, sort of thing. Well, that looks quite good. And then there's something up here, maybe. And then we've got stone wall, maybe surrounding like that. So then stone gate. Yeah, whoops. And then this. So this is the bit I get sort of... Oh, that looks quite good as well. I get very carried away with. I don't think it's very good. Very interesting to watch, so... What's that little one there, maybe? So there's that there. Is some sort of mid entryway to get to the train or something? Actually, I should get rid of... I'm not going to do it. I know, I mean, the mining will be identical to the other ones. And doing this stuff, it gets tedious, but, you know, I don't really need... I probably just need one of these patches. It's just I'll put a load on. So yeah, we might as well sort of design this a bit more, I think. Oops. And we'll use gravel, and I can use the iron gravel this time. So, what have I got? So these are coming in from somewhere else, basically. So if I was to use undergrounds there, how far in would they go? So they go that far. So actually I could do them there. That. Oops. Oops. I've actually been thinking about what I would want to do after Factorio 2, which is my Saturday series. Because not actually that far off finishing it. I mean, we are, because I'm doing the Factorio 2 extended. Which makes it more onerous, but to some extent it appears that that's just like a volume thing. That's just, I don't know if it's intended for mega bases, but because I actually hooked it up at the end of the just after the stream. I shouldn't have done, because I should have done it on stream, but I've basically already got enough to do the first... I don't know what it is. Because you have to do it 10 times, I think. I've already got the stuff there. It's really the one that's been the problem with the ECUs. That's the one that kind of need to work on. How does that look? That's not great, is it? Let's have a look, see. And this needs to be undergrounded over the fence. Like that. So if it's there each time, what does that look like? That's one in, isn't it? So if this was also... Is that right? Yeah. Oops. So I'm tempted to start SpaceX, because, say, I keep getting... flip-flopping back and forth on whether we're going to even get the official expansion this year or next. Which gate was I using? I think I was using stone gates as well, wasn't I? Where the heck are stone gates? Oh, that's a stone gate. You know, I keep thinking, yes, we're going to get it. No, we're not going to get it. Should I just go all out with... I mean, how orangey did I go with? Not that I need to do the same. So it's more the accenting with the thing. And then it's the actual smelting that's blue. So inside the fence, effectively. Oh, and I was using hazardcrete. Oh, yeah, I might give that a go instead then. I'm not keen that that's sort of too far down, basically, too far up. I'd rather it was sort of clear access point like that. And I can have that on the outside. But yeah, I was sort of tempted to maybe have SpaceX a go. I think it's probably not sufficiently au fait with how all the overhauls sort of, you know, types of things they do, so could be quite a risk with me, you know, losing interest again. We could do the same up here, couldn't we, actually? So this could be a proper path. So then I was like, well, maybe I should give Angels or Bobs a go. I don't think both together. I think two. Again, that's probably too much. But one of them I think might be worth giving a go. Did I put it right on the bottom? Or was there a one gap? There was a one gap on both sides. So one gap. So this is the actual path here. So if that's the path, and then so we got no. So that's not existing. And then that's where the stone brick for underneath the fence would go. Something like that. So then, like that. So this is in the wrong place, basically, isn't it? It's fine though. We can sort that out, no problem. Get rid of all that. little bit. So we can move this down one. Right. Looks a bit better full stop like that, doesn't it? Yeah, I think that's a bit tidier anyway. Okay, so what we're going to do here. This needs to come down a couple. Oops, concrete in there. Nope. Nope. Actually, it could be wider on the outside, couldn't it? Oh, that looks quite effective. Oh no, I made it one wider. Yeah. Where's the blue gravel? Where's the... Got to do something in there. Because that's not even, is it? Do I want to put brick underneath these as well? Because I did do that. It's almost meant to look like foundation, you know, like there's a proper deep-rooted foundation underneath the wall, you know, supporting it. That's sort of kind of what I'm going for. Stone brick. I said I didn't think this was very interesting to watch, and then I've got massively carried away doing it. Oh well. I can never quite figure out the cadence of people watching. I guess it's because people just do. They just sort of randomly watch or don't watch sort of thing. Sometimes you get ones where there's loads of people, and sometimes not. Maybe it aligns better with like American holidays and stuff, although most of my regulars don't seem to be. Not on the Twitch ones, American, because it's the wrong time of day. It's too early, they're all in bed. So mostly seem to be Europeans, but then I don't know what European holidays there are. I'm using blue gravel because I haven't really got many choices. Unfortunately, there's only like the 4 gravels. There's the black. Well, we could use the black maybe, because I don't know that we'll have another use for it. But I was sort of thinking maybe using that on all of the other factories. So obviously the orange is for copper, iron is the blue, and then grey is just a generic one. So this doesn't look very good, does it? What can we do? I mean, we could just fill it in with gravel. Could do... Oh, what a match. These are entirely occult. Oh, well, there you go. That's good to know, I suppose. I say it's just, you know, it's fascinating, really. You know, one of the weird things I sort of think about. Now, which blue... actually, I want purple then, don't I, if I'm using purple lights. Let's put a few of them in and see what looks best. Yeah, it does that weird thing with this one. What about this one in here? Because this has got a purple as well. Not a fan of that. What does purple concrete look like? And that's the one with the edge on it. Purple stone brick, as I say, that's so weird what that does. Which is the purple one? Which is the purple? Is that? That's the purple. That one. Oh, that's the one with the edge. Okay. It's quite a strong purple, isn't it? is the only thing. So I'm not sure I want purple this side of the wall, as it were. That was just regular refined, not a fan. Maybe this is the place to use hazardcrete of some description. What does this look like? Oh! Oh, it's moaning about. Be filling my inventory with junk. Oh, I haven't put any copper plate. I haven't put any text plates on yet, have I? Hmm. Hang on. Which was the good purple? Which is the bad purple? That's the bad purple. Okay. What was I doing then? Trying to work out what to put there. So hazardcrete might be the way to go, but I guess it's going to have to be the refined hazard. Oh, that's blooming broken, isn't it? I've got some weird mod conflict that some of these don't work properly, and I can only like use certain ones, and it's just completely random which ones do and don't work. I mean, I guess I could thematically. It's like as if it's always that one sort of thing. And does that one... Oh, so got that on the list somewhere. Does that one work? Oh, that one's okay. So why is that a different shape at the end there? Why is that like that and that like that? Weird. Oh, got the wrong one. Although I guess an arrow going the other way might be better. Not a fan of any of these. Maybe I just go simple. We just have good old-fashioned concrete. Like that. And what do I do here? Something like that, maybe? I think it's up to the illusion, but that looks like... Oh, no, it's because there's stone brick underneath one, but not the other. There we go. There we go. That is the badger. I mean, on the other one, I've done like a pattern concrete underneath the belts, as if it's like reinforced concrete. So I think I should come up with another design, but I'll leave that for now, I think. So it looks like these are different angles, if you see what I mean. No, I'm not quite sure why. No. What's that one there? So it's probably just optical illusion. So although that looks cool, what does it look like if I've got... Maybe if I put grey around the outside. Whoops. And then... I did think about doing... So, I don't think it's good for these ones. But I think for the the green and red and blue circuit factories, maybe the modules one, maybe that sort of thing. I think I'm going to use the pollution clearing. And then we can have actual sort of trees around the edge, like decorative. Marshmallow mangrove tree. I need to think which ones... Where did that go? Marshmallow, there it is. And I can put some trees. And, maybe some rocks or something. So as if it's, a landscaped factory, basically. And there's a gardener, tends the Thins the trees and all that sort of stuff. So maybe blue gravel down the middle. Oops. Looks a bit weird, doesn't it? Single row of concrete. Maybe I just leave it. Oh. Why are you saying that? I think I'm just going to leave that bit of it. Yeah, okay. We'll put in gravel here. This all needs to move down, doesn't it? To line up with this one. Oops. Oh wait, have I not? I've done it as 4 wide here, haven't I? So that's right. There we go. Keep it the same. There we go. And then just keep it as 2 wide, maybe there. Yeah. Did I put? I've not put brick underneath the thing there, have I? Right, it's called Aesthetic Factorio, so I need to make it look good, in quotes. Now, I've got 2 bits of stone. So 1, 2, yeah, so that would be along there. So somehow that's right up next to that. Oh no, it's the same there. Okay, yeah, that's cool. Okay. Oops. So that there. No, I think actually there'll be a different thing going on here because this is a different, different situation. A different situation. Like that. No, like that. Bit of the old blue gravel. Yeah, not fancy. I'm not going to do the sort of trees and stuff here. So I think I will do it on the high-tech factories, as if it was some. So as if you were visiting the Google campus or something, Oops. So I'll come up with a separate fancy design for that. And then I want that across there. Cool, okay. I don't think that was too bad. Now, the insides. Inside the walls. Am I going to go purple? Am I going to go purple? What are you doing? So if this was all purple here. What happened there? I need loads of them, don't I? I've forgotten again which one it is. Is that the... Yeah, that's the good one. I've lost it again. So it's that one. So it's that one. So it's that one. Yeah, and that's the rubbish one. Well, it's not rubbish, it's just it. I think it's because there's some mod conflict going on. There's always some conflict going on somewhere. Is that too minimal? Is that too little? Don't know. Because these have gone quite fancy. But I gave myself a lot more room there, and I sort of wanted to do this a bit more, well, very different and a bit more compact. I guess we could do something with purple stone, if I can find one that works. Or purple... Ha! Which one am I using? Orange concrete. So that's that one. Is that not the one with like the white edging? It is there. Why is it okay over here? Oh, it isn't. I've just hidden it by having it go up to the edge, and you can't sort of tell. And then that overlaps okay with it. Okay. So in other words, this brick one, this one. In fact, I should set these as... Oh, as well. Explode the inventory and it won't like that. So effectively... No, it does that pattern like this. Or was it the concrete rather than the brick? Because that's purple refined. Purple concrete? Missed. Oh, I'm doing it again. It's very confusing having multiple mods with the same. So it's this one. Where is this one? This one here. So yeah, there you go. So that's the one. Oops. So that's what I've effectively done with the what should we call it, area? The yeah, you see that one? Is that the one I've actually... No. So the one I've done as the 500 is okay. So that one's... Okay. Because I think this mod, the idea is you do use it like that, so it connects to actual grey concrete. And that's why it does that effect. But I wasn't intending to do it like that. It's more than oh, got the wrong level. It's just a big slab of purple, isn't it? Can I do something a bit more interesting? Punch holes in it. Oh no, that's the brick I've got by accident, isn't it? That one does go weird. I can punch holes with this in it. Not particularly visible because it's such an extreme purple colour. Or we could make these like this, maybe? Again, it's all a bit subtle because it's so big. Or maybe the beacons are on the regular concrete, so You can't tell, can you? You see, that's the problem. That's your problem right there. You can't tell. That's a bit more visible. So maybe that'll work. Need to take that down a couple. Not that many then. So I can maybe put some patterning in it, but it's quite subtle. Quite a subtle effect I've ended up with there. So this is, I think this is where I worry that it's particularly uninteresting because it's oh, I've done that too big. What I actually want to do is just improvise with a load of different designs. Keep trying a load of stuff out. It's too subtle. Maybe the thing would be to go with a different colour, and then it would highlight the difference. Maybe I could combine it with blue in some way, because it is, you know, iron and steel and blue and stuff, maybe. So maybe that's... Oops. Oh. What happened there? I could always use, like, cyan or something. You know, it's blue, but not quite blue. I think that's what I'm going to have to do if I want it to stand out in any way. So I think there's a lot of messing about I could do with that. Now, this entering here is not particularly brilliant, is it? So maybe this goes moved down a bit. So that was there instead. And then we could underground. Is that equal on either side? So that's the fence. That's the fence. No. So that may need to come up one. You can't? Why can't you? Just end up with so much rubbish in my inventory. I guess I could get rid of these, couldn't I? Oh. I'm not doing anything boaty at the moment. Nothing boaty here. Nothing boaty here. Right. Oops. So then... So that comes out of there. And say it goes wide again. No. And gravel on the outside. Hello, I didn't. It commented and I just didn't react. Hello, Cratch, I didn't know. So I just get so carried away. Hope you're having a good day. Hope you're having a good Sunday. With all your occultiness. So this would need to come up, wouldn't it? I mean, I could move it like back up, as in... I just didn't fancy having the... In fact, I actually think I want to move it back down again. So if this was, say, here, other side of the equivalent thing. Yeah, I've got a long drive coming up shortly, just procrastination. Where are you driving to? Oops. What happened? Is it work thing or what have I actually done there? Have I put? Yeah, I have stone brick underneath. Used to quite enjoy long rides. Used to, you know, like long drives, but that's not too bad. Pick up sand across the province. Ah, right, cracking. Yeah, I used to quite. I mean, I still sort of do enjoy long drives, but make me sound very old man shouts at cloud type of thing. But the roads are sort of, and maybe this is a more a UK thing as well. Roads are like really busy compared to what, you know, when I used to do a lot of driving. If that makes any sort of sense. Things were better in my day. Is what I meant? Sorry, but it's just like sheer volumes of. Oh, blimey! Didn't mean to do that. I meant to copy it. Sheer volumes of traffic, and so sort of any journey I do now just seems to involve hours sat in traffic at some point. Yeah, there's sort of no such thing as a smooth journey anymore. It's sort of always a really big undertaking. I keep doing that. So I don't know if that's just a UK thing with the fact that they never seem to build roads particularly anymore, and yet more and more cars. It's just, you know, general thing of people can afford cars that didn't used to be able to, you know. As I say, sort of. I still enjoy if I get the chance to, you know, go for a drive sort of out in the country. Except at the moment, because petrol is absolutely insane. I actually got a new car recently, and I was going to go electric. But I couldn't afford to, because they add on. Basically, electric cars almost don't need any maintenance, because there's not actually that much to go wrong on them. And if they go wrong, they go wrong. There's not a lot of preventative maintenance you can do with an electric car, in reality. And car companies basically make a lot of their money from selling spare parts and doing services. So they've added that cost on to the cost of electric cars, basically. So electric cars are more expensive. Well, there's obviously the cost of, the lithium batteries are not cheap and all that sort of stuff. I'm not saying it's all this, but a big part of it is that essentially they have to recover that cost that they're losing because of the surf. I mean, it's literally true. It's not some paranoid conspiracy theory, because when I was getting quotes, I was asking about service plans and that sort of thing. A service plan for like an electric car, model, compared to the equivalent petrol car was like almost nothing. Basically, it was like service plan of £4 a month versus £18 a month, because the services are like 60 quid basically, rather than 300 quid. And so it's not something they hide either. They, you know, basically just said to me, well, it's because we, you know, can't really charge for servicing with electric cars because there's kind of nothing to go wrong. Or if it goes wrong, it goes catastrophically wrong, as I say. So I couldn't afford one, so it meant I had to go petrol again. And now, of course, gas prices, petrol prices are absolutely insane. Get that. Drives mostly back country, so no traffic, just too much driving for a day. Yeah. Yeah, it's the best sort of driving, I think, but yeah, it's even there it gets too heavy, doesn't it? It's sort of like, in fact, there's more concentration required on that sort of a drive, and it's like, you know, at least a motorway you can sort of just put the radio on and basic concentration, you know. I know he doesn't have a lot of fat, and he's a bit of a prat, if I'm honest, but it's quite like didn't I copy that over? Yes, I did. Quite like automated cars to really take off for that, you know, that motorway type driving. This is really difficult to see with this. Who put this coal there? Can't I get rid of it? I can't remember how to do it. Oh, it's the gas tax supporting infrastructure. That's the upcoming fund for electric cars. Yeah. Audiobooks and podcasts are the only reason I can do this drive. Yeah. I tend to listen to audiobooks as well. It's weird actually. It came a point. So in the UK we have you know, the BBC very famously. And they have kind of a stranglehold on, like a monopoly on radio, which I don't mind because it's all good stuff. But I sort of flipped to listening to something called Radio 4. So I can't remember how I get rid of the patches. It's one of the ones, I can't remember. Is it the red one? Healer. Modifier. Oh no, it's not that. It is that one. It is the red one. Isn't it in Magic One? There we go. Correct tiles, decoratives. Oh, I say I can never remember how you take it off. I think I just select that. And then if I... No. Shift, there we go. But then don't get rid of everything. It does. Oh. Oh, but it doesn't count. Yeah, okay. So if I copy and paste, in fact, let's put that back in. Wait, why have I got I could just move somewhere else, couldn't I? But this is roughly where I think it's going to be. Oh, okay. So if I cut and paste this right down to here, and then I get rid of this, shift like that, and then I paste it back in. I wish I've done too much computer and remote sensing. Do you ever think automated cars are going to work on conventional roads? Oh, they're not going to be conventional roads. It'll be smart roads, basically. So when they get the sensors in, I say I wouldn't. Well, eventually, it's just going to get so, you know, so good that it'll be all right for any driving. But just motorway driving, where it's just having to follow a track, and stay a distance away from another car. I don't think that'll be too problematic. And as I say, I find it so tedious, particularly sitting in traffic, that the risk that it would have some kind of crash, I'm kind of happy to take that risk. I mean, you get plenty. I mean, people drive so badly anyway that is it worse, really? But I say I don't think they're there yet. But so I think maybe 10, 15 years. I say if they can get the infrastructure upgraded to smart motorways and things like that, with all the sensors that they'll need, I think that'll be able to take over at that point. So I'd probably just risk it just for the... Yeah, it is right. It just looks weird. So is that your job, as it were? Are you sort of sensor expert, or? Probably copy that bit. Yeah, there we go. Wait, which flip is it? Is that right? No, that one. Boom. So it all sounds like a mortar going off. When we keep the road lines painted, yeah. Well, I suppose if all the robots are driving us around, we won't really need road lines. If I was applying with my dream. Made the mistake of applying for a PhD, alright. Sorry, so you're doing a PhD? Sorry, I think I misunderstood. I would have loved to have done a degree. Sorry, I did a degree. I would have loved to have done a PhD. But I kind of got a bit trapped in that. Yeah, that's the same. I couldn't afford it, basically. I couldn't afford to do it, straight off after my degree. And then essentially, in fact, if I shift copy this like this, because it's just going to be reversed, do the tiles, and then I was sort of allured by the fact that people were willing to pay me money, like significant money. So I then, because it was my plan to basically work for a couple of years, to essentially save up and then go back and do one. And I kind of just got trapped in the working system, basically. Which is not quite true. Basically what I did is I spent far too much money. So I had to keep working in order to keep paying off debt that I'd managed to accrue. Oh, I see. Found out how I've been recovering. Oh, right. Sorry to hear that. Completely got the wrong end of the stick there, sorry. I hope you're recovering okay. I'm not sure. I'm not a bit burned out, if I'm honest. I think that's probably They're feeling sort of, you know, kind of uninterested in pretty much. It could, I mean, might well be depression. My dad suffers quite badly with depression. Why does that not look the same? No, it is. Yeah, it's okay. But that's not the same. Did I just put gravity? Let me just put gravity in. Yeah, so I need to think up a funky design for these. And I might push it back one so that you can sort of see the design. In fact, it needs to go. It does need to go back one, doesn't it? Really. So if we do a shift. Oh no. One of these again. Nope. Like that. No. No. There we go. Yeah, he suffers quite badly from depression, so I'm pretty sure there's a genetic component to it as well, because there's quite a few mental health issues in the family generally. Yeah. That's a bit better. Not meaning that. Where it sounds like I'm trivialising other people's problems. It's just saying, just that some things are saying. I know, have encountered before. He's having a bit of a bad patch at the moment, actually, but seems to be getting back. Right, so am I happy with this? So I spent ages doing it. I'm not happy, to be honest with you, because I don't like this just purple slab underneath. I think using other colours is maybe the way to go to make it stand out a bit more, you know, something like this. But even there, it's not that distinctive. That's not too bad, actually, is it? I can maybe put, you know, make that diagonal. Something like that. Didn't do both sides, did I? Yes, I did. So I can spend ages fiddling about with these. I won't go. I must go, otherwise I won't be able to. Well, have a good journey. Hope it all goes smoothly. Traffic's not too bad, etc. I'd assume it'd be okay on a Sunday on the back roads, as you say. But so have a good journey. And thanks for dropping in, saying hello. Yeah. So I come up with a sort of a fancy design at some point to fill that in. And I'll also use that sort of here. Might be worth having some kind of, say, we could have some kind of central access point as well, maybe. Like a bigger gateway, maybe on both sides. Or maybe I just put, you know, say this big... This works really well, this is just the general, you know, pathway pattern. It's probably a bit too big though. So maybe that big? Didn't I do something funky with the... What's it? What if I do that? Yeah, and then maybe this here. No, it needs to be that. That doesn't. That, no. That. I'll get it right in a minute. A big entranceway, maybe. And then... Wait, what did I do then? Didn't I do nothing? No? There. Dunno. Messing about. And what we really need to do is go and do the other end, basically. Oh. Is that missing on up here as well? No. Weird. Thanks for enjoying your decorating. Thank you very much. Yeah, so I think this probably needs to come down a bit, so there's a bit of separation, but I don't know how much. I mean, at the very least, 4 tiles. Let's say where this ends up. Where does that go? Or did I already move it down? Maybe there. Don't know. Somewhere. I think actually. Whoops. I'll leave it there for the time being. Okay, so drain-wise, so we sort of need. So is this exactly where I'd want it? Because what occurred to me, what I could do, is we could have something where this is like inset, so so effectively the smelters are lined up like with the next set, and so it effectively forms a sort of V shape. So if I was to try and do that, we'd have these have to be, it would have to be wider, basically. Do I want it to be wider? Because I think that looks quite cool. And we can make it wider by extending this, essentially. I'm going to blueprint this just as a sort of a... Then I've got it. If I do too much silliness, you know, it's there. So I'll just put it here somewhere. So we've got one. But yeah, in order for this to be lined up, how much wider would the centre part have to be? Is that right? Because then, yeah, because that would then shove this way, all of this way. So basically, cut, oops, cut, say there. That's not quite right, but because I want that underground to be there. But then if I move it, what? So it would need to be sort of there, maybe? Does that work with... Does that work? Because I'm not massively keen on having these on the pathway with no sort of wider bit. So having a bit more space in the middle bit is not something I'm averse to. But how far apart... Oh, I've misaligned it anyway, but... So if that was there, and then I had, you know, a pathway's worth. Do it like that, maybe. So then we've got 2 pathways. You know, 1 there. And then this becomes regular belt. How big is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So... If it was 2 in, would it still be okay? So if this was, you know, that, it needs to be just be 1 in actually then, doesn't it? Does that work? Because that's a 2 cap. Well, I could even make it 2 over, but that's that. Now ideally it would be 2 in. Would this, so in other words, 1 train bit over. Does it miss the other wall? It does, and quite handsomely. Okay. Okay. So what am I saying there? I'm saying that all on that goes now. And I want this to be there. Because that then gives extra room to have some kind of pathway. Oops, some kind of pathway. And then a sort of a protective wall here somewhere. Or a bit further over or whatever. We've got plenty of room for belt shenanigans. In fact, it could probably come further down. What would belt shenanigans look like? So, if this was... How far is that? So that's 2 there. So 2 there. So if belt shenanigans was here. And it was, say, this wide. Like that. Where would it need to be here? So we're saying... How much room have I actually left? So it's like... that and... So that's the one for the gravel. What am I trying to measure there? Doesn't make sense, does it? But yeah, if that was there. This is belt shenanigans. Because I'm thinking, basically, then it's exactly the same thing. I can't flip it because it's got the station in. Shouldn't have copied the station. Do that bit then. Flip there. So how can I line that? Because this needs to be wider anyway, doesn't it, to match that? Oh right, it's 5:30. Not done anything with the actual steel. Indecision. Yeah, that looks pretty funky. So if this then... I don't want to delete it, I want to move it. That then works as a centre point, you see. Okay, so what am I doing? I'm moving it. So that that is like that. And then that lines up like that. This goes through the middle here. Like that. So that's the new size of the station. Okay. So if we get rid of all of this? No, we want to keep... What do we want to keep? Well, we don't know. That's what I'm trying to work out. So this is why I've blueprinted this one. So at the very least I can redo some of it. But essentially I want to copy this. Or do I want to cut that? I want to cut that, don't I? So that I can sort of plop it on the bottom. And then... Oh, I've ended up with 2 concrete walls. Hang on, let's fix that. In fact, why don't I get rid of... Can I get rid of them? Save me a bit of a job. Yeah, okay. So this is on the bottom now. Maybe it's a bit further down there. And then... So I got that. Is that a bit of wall? It is, but it's not very well placed. Why doesn't that line up? I guess because railway, basically. How big is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's an even number, which would be nice to keep. But not disastrous if we don't. So... Actually, I can put that all the way down there, can't I? I've created enough room. Oh, no, well, no, the belt doesn't have to be there. So it could be lined up there. Okay. So if we had... eight belts of joy here. So this comes over. We get say, oh, we need a pathway, maybe. But we got 8 belts of joy there. And if this is here, then we need a bit of room for a pathway. Be nice if this was something like that. The Necronomicon Economist. That's a very awesome username. Necronomicon Economist. Necronomicon balances the ledger of the Necronomicon. So people think up some awesome usernames. I'm not quite sure I'm trying to leave a belt's worth of gap, but it's more that this then is sort of lined up with nothing. So I could potentially have, you know, a nice big pathway here somewhere. And it's also then access to the train station and blah, blah, blah. Okay. Okay. So then if that was... So it's that wide there, isn't it? Because that's the sort of centre point. So if we were 2 over, or it could just be 1 over there. So that's the belt feeding this side. This one here. And then this is the belt feeding this side. Like that. We've got another one of these that we can line up with that, which is lined up. Is that right? Yep, perfect. So then we've got this in here. That feeds the central one. That feeds one side of that. That feeds the other. Then we need something here. Whoops. Whoops. Like that. Something here. Like that. Whoops. Put those in wrong as well, don't I? It doesn't matter, but saying can get a little confusing with some of these. Okay, and then we've got. I need to make it all nice and Gucci, you know, and I put them in backwards as well, haven't I? You know, and put them a certain number of tiles apart and all that sort of stuff. In fact, they're probably not too far off that already. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. Yeah, so they're not quite right from that point of view. So I think you can see the bare bones of what I'm sort of going for here. Hopefully you agree it does look quite good. And it's certainly different to the other one. And I can use I say I did all that work on the making that look pretty, and I'll just sort of reuse. Oh, except I didn't blueprint the tiles, did I? Idiot. Bum. So I have to do all that again. Ah, oh, what an idiot. Oh well. I can even split these up and maybe it's, you know, 4 on either side job. With a central path, maybe? And I can bunch that in now and, say, create different sort of alignment there. Cool. Okay. And then, I think, I say, we'll leave all that side of things for now. But happy with that basic concept. So it'll take about 1,000 hours of fiddling about, knowing me, but in fact I need to move it over anyway. Why have I lined that up with nothing? This should be fun. It wasn't keen on that. Because we're going to need room, basically. So if I put it, say, there. Almost looks like a starship. Sort of a rubbish starship, but kind of a starship. So this is the output, basically, of terrains. Question is how I'm going to get them in, basically. Because of double-ended trains. So I'm going to have to cross them over in some way, aren't I? Because I'm basically thinking, so, say here, where's that? Where's the actual bottom of the train? The bottom of the train's sort of, oh, there. No, it isn't. That can't be the bottom of the train. But if we take that as the bottom of the train, or bottom of the system, then we can go this way. Oh, no, we can't. Because it doesn't like it. Come on, Ghost Rail. You know what I'm trying to do. There. So if I... Oh, it's got signals on it. So... There. Why is that not the same? Wait, what did I actually do? I flipped it, didn't I? I didn't mean to flip it. To glip it. No, I didn't. There we go. That's the one. There we go. We have the trains going from there. So they all, come together onto the single track. But then they've got options here about which way they go. Not because that's a good design, but because that seems cool. But it's the how do I get them back again, in a sense. Because they're two-way trains. They're double-ended trains. We can deal with that problem later. Topping out. I mean, to some extent, I do need to design the other end anyway. Oh, it's a red radar there. Because I don't know quite what I'm doing with these trains. If that makes sense. They may not even be big enough. Might have done all of that and it's actually pointless. So, if the incoming trains are coming here, and there's 3 of them, then I've not gone nuts again and done something silly with number of furnaces. So that's got 288. In fact, the whole thing is 864 furnaces. Yeah, which is half what I need, but I've doubled up the number of speed modules on them. So in terms of rate, it's about the same as what I was doing before. So effectively we're taking... So it was... Well, one way of looking at it from before, when I did the numbers originally, was it was 500 to 600. Because it was 1500 to 1800, give or take. So if you divide both of those by 3, you get 500 iron furnaces, 600 steel furnaces. But I've halved the number of iron furnaces. So I can halve the number of steel. I don't know that it quite works that way maths-wise. We'll have to see. I mean, these are massively overinflated numbers anyway, so it doesn't actually have to do this. This is like double what I... If it was running maximum efficiency, I've effectively doubled that number just to account for lag in the system and, you know, so that it operates a bit more, you know, fluidly, really. So if we were having 600 furnaces of steel, but then I've halved the two of them. So there's 500 together going into a train. I probably want to do the same idea. I mean, I could just see if I can get 600 in the same pattern. And we effectively unload into the same pattern. But it's slightly bigger. That might be quite funky. I think I'm going to get rid of all of this, though. So then, I mean, could I just paste it? I got one? Can't believe I forgot to put the thing on. Might actually do it that these aren't aligned like that. Maybe they're aligned just in a row. And then we can sort of send one train. I don't think those numbers are right, are they? It might be 2 trains over to that. That would be useful to know, wouldn't it? Can I work it out? Have I written it down anywhere? I'm looking at a notes thing that's like all the numbers on it. So it needs... No, I haven't written it down properly. Because this is going to be a rocket parts factory, basically. So I could just work it out. So these are 3 beaconed... Yeah. So 3 beaconed low density structure. I would need 194. So if we put down 194 RCUs, low density structures rather. Intermediates, isn't it? And put prod modules in them. And so it's the one-sided, you know, moduling that I've been doing. So that's only 36. So I need quite a lot more than that. So if I just flip that around. So that's 72, isn't it? So that must be 144. And I need 190. So, oh, no, that'll squiff the numbers. So if I just do that, make it clear that it's... In fact, let's just put one on like that. How many is that? It's only 180. 180. 216. So I need to take off some. 202. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 194. Okay. How much steel do you need? You need just 1.2 express belts of steel. Okay. To make 1.2 express belts of steel. Furnace, furnace, furnace. Well, let's, if I just plot. I'll find it, there it is. Pop that in. And then we put iron plate into all of these. Wait, did I leave my legs? No wonder I'm going nuts. Nutsoid speeds. That's better. And do a map. So you have to have stuff in them for the calculator to know what the heck you're trying to do. Because you can't set the recipe in any other way. It's a bit odd when you think about it. So that gets me 3.4 belts worth of steel. Awesome. So one of these, because I've doubled up the thing, so that requires 1.2 belts. And that produces 3.4. Hello, Tia. How are you doing? How you doing? I was. That's the only emote I put on, the logo one. I was testing it out more than anything because obviously I had that to hand, but I tried to make. I could do my face basically as, you know, doing silly expressions, like I've done on the thumbnails for the YouTubes, and but making them's horrendous, so I'm gonna have to hire, you know, an artist to do them, I think. Good thinking. How are you? Yeah, not too bad. Sort of glad it cooled off after Friday. That was a bit horrendous. Bit horrendous on Friday, but it's a lot better here. Don't know how it's doing. Yeah. But maybe it can help. Well, maybe, I don't know. I mean, possibly. So I wouldn't want to, you know, I want to pay for it. I wouldn't want to do it sort of for free, but sorry to hear that. No worries. Yeah, so where was I? So I say it's a bit more, isn't it, than I wonder if one side would produce enough. What does that do? So that does. Okay. So I could maybe do. So it produces 3.4. 2.2. 180 net machines. What? There aren't even 180 machines. Oh, I see. So yeah, so one side would sort of sort it. But what I could do, I could have one train that goes, or two trains, you know, because I'm going to have multiple trains stacked up. But we can have one that goes to this one, and the rest go to the harbour. And these aren't right anyway. They need slightly more smelters on them anyway. In fact, this design's not going to work at all, is it, for steel? Because the numbers are completely different. So I'm going to have to fiddle with it from that point of view. But if I move all of this over here somewhere, so I've got it to hand. You bought Factorio, okay. I did actually... I realised after the stream that what I should have said is that there's a demo for Factorio, and it's actually quite a good demo because it gives you a really good flavour of the game. And so I should have mentioned that, but I completely forgot. Because it's... I say it's my... I said on Friday, it's my favourite game ever. But I am very aware that it's not for everybody. It's not everybody's cup of tea. Particularly visually, it's, you know... To me, it's like the pixel art style. You know, it's not pixel art really, but that sort of era of artwork, it works quite well with that, I think. And I think people think it looks bad, as it were. And I don't. I think it looks really good. But I say it's not as pretty. But it's like deliberately not pretty. It's meant to be like diesel punk style. So it's meant to be all dirty and horrible. But say even the artwork is not. You know. It's of a particular type, and it does turn. You know, it's like, and you know, Satisfactory looks pretty. I don't, you know, wouldn't ever say it doesn't, sort of thing. But you know, it's a different sort of aesthetic style. But yeah, it's and it's quite a complicated game. I mean, I wouldn't. If you need specific tips, then just shout. But it's a game that I would say is always worth playing through yourself, basically. Trying to do it yourself first time. And then launch into looking at guides and, you know, wiki and all that sort of stuff. But you learn so much playing it yourself. The only sort of first tip I would give is, or the only tip I would generically give is keep going. Basically, unless you get to a point where you've managed to anger the biters and they've completely overrun your base and you can't defend yourself, just keep going, because you learn so much, you know, playing it through, that because a lot of people get trapped in a loop of saying, oh well, I've learned, you know, how to do circuits or something now, so I'll restart and I'll make circuits a lot better. And the trouble is, until you've got to the end game and know what you really need to do, you sort of the new design you've come up with may not actually be very good, and so you then redo it in your next playthrough and you think, oh no, I'll restart again and do it better. And that applies particularly, blue science is the one that really trips people up, and you just got to push through it basically and launch a rocket, and then, you know, say either look at guides or just play through again, you know. It's more about gameplay, to be fair. Like games that involve some thought and change. Well, I would say you'd certainly get that. I mean, if you know, I know you're familiar with. Well, I know we didn't really get to play, but you're familiar with Satisfactory, and Satisfactory was essentially designed as a 3D Factorio, so a lot of it will be very familiar to you. And I'm guessing, I've not played V-Rising, but I've seen a few people play it through, and there's a lot of similar concepts in there of and a lot of building games are very similar, and particularly take cues off of Factorio. But you know, it's smelting iron into iron plate and smelting copper into copper plate, and it's all very similar conceptually. So it's just about the hows and whys you do that. So I say I need to rework this smelting array so that it fits better with steel. Does that not have a energy source on? Okay. Right. Yeah, so I love it. It's sort of, it's one of those games. I don't know if you played the Civ games. I'm guessing you probably, Civilization game. I'm guessing you probably have, but it's one of the worst, you know, or worst or best just one more turn type game. So it's not one. It's obviously not a turn, but it's I'll just do this. I'll just do that. I'll just do, you know, I'll just add this in. I'll just take, you know, rework this, and before you know it, it's 4 o'clock in the morning. You know. So let's just randomly add in sort of more furnaces and see what it does to numbers. Because in theory, this should be... So if it was 8... Whoops, I've scrolled the thing. If it was 600, then this should be more like 300? Oh, but it's not. It's 150, isn't it? Okay, let's put iron plate in and see what it reckons. Because I don't think I'm getting the same... I wouldn't be getting 8 belts worth out of steel out. That would be bonkers. So let's give that a go. 5 games, yeah. So it's obviously not the same because it's not turn-based, but that feeling of I'll just solve this problem. I'll just do that. I'll just do the other. Let's say before you know it, the entire night has disappeared. I still get it even all these years later. I'm better able to sort of recognise that I'm doing it, so I sort of deliberately stop. It's one of the reasons I try and, like my playtime, I try and set a hard limit and not just sneak past it, because as I say, I just get so carried away that yeah, it's not. Oh, that's wrong, isn't it? So that's why it's doing that. Oh, and I've got 2 of them. It doesn't matter. I'll fix that in a minute. So what does this produce? This produces 0.36 of a belt of steel. But it requires 1.3 input. So that's not what we want. We want to chop it down so that it's about a belt's worth of input. That's what matters for steel for us today. So, well, that's a point. I couldn't use this design anyway because I've got to take it off a train and put it on a train. So I need to do it differently anyway. But in which case, could we have the iron coming in there and the steel going out there, and it goes alternate maybe? Anyway, let's just do the numbers for now. I've forgotten what that said. So it's still using over a belt's worth of iron. What about now? Still slightly more, so 1 less. Okay. Do I want it under a belt or do I want it over a belt? I think I want it over. Excuse me. No, one's got, obviously not got that on. Yeah, so it's ever so slightly over, isn't it? Then it wouldn't be, probably, if I do that. Oh, perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. So, that is 0.24. Hi, Graham, how you doing? Yeah, I'm well. You managed to time it. You're not doing it deliberately, are you? But I'm only going to be around for another 5 minutes or so. I need to pop off, get some dinner, because the Canadian Grand Prix starts at 7, so I'm going to watch that. But yeah, I'm doing well. How are you? I don't know how to phrase it, because I know you said you're a bit sort of done with Elden Ring, as it were, in both senses. You sort of picked anything else up? Or you sort of giving it a nice rest? I'm amazed that that's spot on 1. So it's 0.24 coming out. So if I sort of chop all of these off at that point, what does this tell me is the total beltage coming out? The total beltage coming out is 1.9. And coming in is 8, which is lovely, because that's exactly what we would want to be putting in. But is it 8 rows? Yes, it is. Perfect. But it's going to be uneven, isn't it? Because how many is that? 160. So if that was 160, quick math, or a calculator. So if that's 160, oh, I keep forgetting it doesn't do num keys. Oh, no. Oh. All good, thanks. Father's Day is in it. It's all chill out over here. Oh, right. So you're getting. I thought your kids might be a bit young for Father's Day. I suppose they. Mum can orchestrate it. But yeah, get anything nice? Bannerlord. Oh, right. Tempted to do some more art. They had a trailer, didn't they? At I don't know if you saw it, but at not E3 there was an Arc 2 trailer, and I think it's coming out. What was it? 2023 or the end of this year, something like that. No worries, do you? Try and work around. You know, try and interpret what people are saying as well, because obviously not everyone is English who watches. Arc 2, looking forward to that. Yeah. I do want. I mean, I say I've sort of been. I've been trying to get Satisfactory done, but I am still. It's still on my horizon to play Arc. I picked it up on because they've been giving it away on Steam, but it doesn't include any of the expansions, and I think you said that's where most of the story is. I think it's what I would want to give a go next, because I'm not. I don't know. It sort of depends on whether Dyson Sphere, how they're getting on with their combat stuff. They posted another thing recently. But it's difficult to tell how far off it is. But yeah, I don't think it's hopefully not sounded too like moaning. I'm really enjoying playing Satisfactory, but it is really grindy. So ideally, I want the balancer. In fact, let's just get rid of the power poles. Can we think that at some point? No. It's my classic thing as well. I mean, I've installed hard space shipbreaker. I haven't played it yet though. Just chronic with it. Ten's not a good number for putting in my little 3 thing, though, is it? Or 20 even. So if that was the... Maybe I could base it around this. So that one needs... Because that one gets it properly covered, doesn't it? Right. But then we got this spare one on the end. A spare one on the end. Oh, and I've also copied up. Don't need that on everyone. In fact, being steel, I don't need that at all. S on the end there. I don't know why I did the one in the middle, but I did. So if I take that out, copy that up. So, well, I think it's a brilliant game. I have since found that people who haven't played online in a proper tribe don't really enjoy the bugs. My nostalgic brain glosses over. Oh, right, it's that sort of thing, is it? I mean, so I've got it via Game Plus, so I could give it a go, and if I don't like it, you know, or it's too buggy for me or whatever, it's not going to be that any. I'm not really losing anything, if you see what I mean. So, but yeah, I didn't. Difficult to know with bugs, isn't it? I mean, Satisfactory is buggy, you know. Let's not pretend. And even more, update 6. Good lord, it's buggy. Okay. So, because it won't let me flip this, but it's identical. Not either way. So I can just rotate it, I think. Rotate that. And this is... Wait. And of course it's not identical because of the blooming train two-tile rubbish. Anyway, theoretically that would be sort of there. Would it? Isn't that? And then this is the trains coming in. So if this is... So this is just nominal to get the numbers ready. I say I need to finish, but... Gotta have my dinner before the Grand Prix. I mean, maybe two of them could feed into one. Yeah, that'd make more sense, wouldn't it? So, in that case, you could flip that round. So it's actually something like that. And then do I have an entire train feeding that? Maybe there's 2 trains? And then repeat that. Crunch. Something like that, maybe? Could move it all up a bit. Don't really need to, though, because this is where the harbour's going to be. So how many have I got here now? 960. Ah. That's only half what I need. Does that make sense? What am I doing? So that's unloading to there, that's unloading to there, that's to there, that's to there, that's to there, that's to there. Okay. So this is only half the number of furnaces I need, steel furnaces. So I could just double this up each time. I'm probably going to have to go with boxes on this end. Well, it makes sense because I'm only producing a quarter of a lane from each set of furnaces. Because obviously, you know, the ratio with the steel. And that one's not going to be there anyway. So we then got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we've got 1.9k. So that's slightly too many, but that's fine. Okay. Not well optimized at all yet, but remember it's early access. Yeah, I say I'm not. I just, it's not something. I don't mind bugs too much unless they're, game breaking sort of thing, especially early access. But I say if the fun overrides the bugs, I'm not that fussed about it, unless it does literally break the game. I mean, oh god, I can't do that quickly, can I? I was going to put the actual iron in, but that's going to take ages. Especially if I make a mess of it. Crikey, 10 past. Yeah, I need to go, as I say. So get some lunch, get some dinner. So next week. Should we go back to blueprint? And I think I'm ready. I've been working on some of the blueprints in my personal time, because it's a nice easy thing to fit around other stuff. There's no pressure in it. Well, I think I've done all I want to do another test. So next Friday I'll probably start another test of the early game blueprints. Next Sunday, sorry. Saturday will be Crashtorio 2 as well, because turns out that although I could call it done, really, I'm going to have to do quite a lot of extra stuff. So I apparently need to do 10 matter transfer thingies. And they each cost quite a lot of science packs. So we need to keep scaling up production. People said it cost a lot of power as well, but it didn't seem to... Can't really tell if that's the case or not. So I may have to... I mean, I want to play with it anyway, but there's the antimatter power. That I've unlocked as well, so I want to play with that. But whether I need to or not, I'm not 100% sure. Tomorrow I'll be back with more Satisfactory. We'll be finishing off. I'm determined to finish this cement factory. Been trying to work on it today. I've unlocked all the new MAM stuff, the new bombs and etc. With the exception of the nukes. The nukes seems a bit silly. How many belts? How many belts? Please tell me. Crikey, you had a think there, didn't it? 21.5 belts of steel. Okay. So, compressing it down to sort of 8, 8 and 8, 8, 16, 24 isn't too bad, I don't think. Cool, okay. Let's pop the schedule up. Just do the outro, etc., etc. There's the schedule. There we go. Oh, there's nukes in Satisfactory. Yes, there is now. Update 6. So I don't know if you play. Or have you given it a break? But update 6 came out on Tuesday. It is buggy. I mean, as you know, Diablo 2 was saying, it's early access, and I mean, you play. But it is. Update 6 is particularly buggy. They're changing the release way, the way they do releases, rather than do gigantic releases with loads and loads of stuff in, that they've also tested a lot and are happy with. Although there's always bugs in the updates, but they're going to do smaller updates that they do more frequently, and they're going to have less in. But for example, update 6, they've not actually finished some of the stuff they've put in it, so it's not really even update 6 proper. It's update 6 beta almost, but it's buggy. I mean, there are some problems with it that I've encountered, and I've seen other people have done. But yeah, so they've introduced a whole load of, it's called the exploration update or something, and they've introduced loads of new ammo. So there's new rebars, there's new normal bullets, there's new nobelisks, and one of the nobelisks is a nuclear nobelisk. But you have to use radioactive stuff to unlock it. And because I fired up my nuclear power plant now, but also all the radiation stuff is like way over the other side of the map, and I don't fancy driving over and it killing me, because as soon as I get in a vehicle, all of the radiation hazard protection stuff goes. They need to fix that, and so I can't drive nuclear stuff around, so I'd have to build another MAM, blah 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 blah. But I've unlocked all the others. I don't need them. They're a bit pointless. Hopefully they're going to adjust the enemy difficulty, because you just don't need them. The regular bullets just kill stuff at the same pretty quick pace. It's less than a magazine to kill a spitter and stuff, so you don't need them, but they're quite fun. Yeah, so that's all in update 6. So if you're on experimental, you should be able to do that. To get experimental, if you didn't know, so if you're in Steam, if you right-click properties, right-click and select properties on the game itself, then there's a beta tab, and you just select experimental from the drop-down list if you wanted to give that a go. You have to be a bit careful with your saves, though, because any save made in update 6 or higher level version of the game, or later version of the game, won't work in previous versions. So if you load up a previous save and save it in the beta, or update 6, then you can't then use it in stable if you go back. But yeah, so tomorrow we'll be finishing the concrete factory or doing my best to finish the concrete factory over the falls. What I was going to say is I've done some work, but I didn't get quite as far as I'd hoped. I might do it tonight, sort of while I'm waiting while I'm listening to the Grand Prix, but I'm not going to finish it in time. So I was hoping to get the trucks all set up to deliver the concrete, but deliver the limestone, but I haven't done that. So we'll have to continue with that tomorrow. And that'll be it for the week, obviously. There's the normal schedule. So we'll be back on Friday with more Satisfactory. And Saturday will be Crash Story, or hopefully we will. It might be a work thing that stops me doing it. But Saturday will be more Crash Story 2 as we try to finish the mod. Sunday will be the aesthetics, will be the blueprint series, but hopefully doing the testing basically for my early and mid game blueprints. If it is, that'll be several weeks worth of streams, because it's going to take a while to get up to to test everything basically. So that's it. So if you wanted to catch me generally, obviously if you're watching on VODs or whatever, then there's my Twitch link if you want to watch anything live and come and say hello. If you want to watch any of the VODs, then you can find them all on my YouTube channel. They're all archived on there, sorted into playlists and all that sort of things. I'm experimenting with clips as well, because there was quite a funny moment in the Satisfactory stream on Friday where it was quite ironic. I was making well, you can watch the clip, but it's basically I was saying how in the marsh that these structures look like they could have like spiders come out of them, and I turned around and I got attacked by 2 spiders. It made me jump like you wouldn't believe. But yeah, so they're all on there. And Twitter is the same. Both those two are alias to Triggles, as I think that's easy to say. Discord. So I've got a Discord, and the idea is to try and set up multiplayer. It's a bit difficult for me at the moment because I've got IRL stuff, work, and I'm looking for a new job. So I've not got a lot of spare time, and it helps me a lot if we can schedule things, if you did want to play a bit multiplayer. But even then, I've only got a couple of hours sort of spare, really. Hopefully that will get sorted out in a few months, though. So if you have been watching, thanks for doing so. I hope you've enjoyed it, and you might consider coming back for another one. I've been Trismegistus. This has been no, it hasn't. This has been Factorio. Thanks for watching. Cheers.